By the time he was 8 years old, he had lost 5 siblings. At 9, he was left for dead, only to awaken from a coma paralyzed. But he recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of body and mind. Bradley Quick is here to share with you his path from Skid Row junkie to successful talk show host, author, mentor, and motivational speaker. If you're looking for a better tomorrow, if you want a positive evolution, or if you're in need of a quick fix, you're in the right place. Now kick back and get ready for the top experts in the field of
body, mind, and soul.
Here on the Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for positive answers and the place for you to find that life and health solution you've been looking for. We're right here right now to inform you as to the latest life enhancement techniques in many different areas, including health, fitness, nutrition, psychology, finance, weight loss, and a whole variety of other wonderful and life-empowering topics. Today's show is brought to you by the Cool Change Foundation. If you're fond of our show, if we brought you some breakthrough solutions, or you just want to help us stay on the air, come on, you can donate today. Think about it. When we make life better for mom and dad, we make life better for the children. When we make life better for the children, we make life better for the entire family. Everybody wins. It's a win-win deal. Give us a call and donate right now at www.thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. And remember, it's time for a cool change with the Cool Change Foundation. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Bradley Quick. I'm here as always to discuss solutions with you. I'm here to talk to you about having a better life experience and becoming the best you that you can be. Our guest today is Cynthia Sue Larson, best-selling author of Reality Shifts, When Consciousness Changes the Physical World. Hey, Cynthia, you ready for a great show?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I love it. You sit tight. We'll be right with you. Fair enough?
Sounds great.
All right. Thank you all for joining us on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com, and on Facebook. As you know, you can catch our live and recorded video shows and interviews on those sites and many other websites. And as always, you can listen to our archived audio interviews, hundreds of them. Your favorite topics, favorite experts, and favorite personalities at BradleyQuick.com. Now, if you're not hanging out on CoolChangeRadio.com, BradleyQuick.com is the place to be for a bunch of great information. But if you ever find yourself surfing around YouTube looking for something exciting, you can always go to our channel there, which is Cool Change Radio on YouTube. Cool Change Radio on YouTube. We're just about to break 450,000 views in about 90 days. I'm just so very grateful and excited. Go there, get the information that you're looking for. It's all there on Cool Change Radio on YouTube. Later, my buddy Paul Medrano, former Mr. Universe, will be here with us talking about fitness and healthy living in our Getting Fit with Mr. Universe segment. It's all going to happen shortly, so stay put. Now make a note. If you'd like to chime in with a question for my guest today, you can pick up the phone and dial us at 818-342-4315. That's 818-342-4315. One more time, 818-342-4315. Okay, she's a spiritual life coach who helps people transform from accidental manifestors into conscious reality shifters. Her favorite question in any situation is, how good can it get? What a great question. As she helps people understand how our thoughts and feelings literally change the world. Joining us now on the Quick Fix here on the Cool Change Radio and TV Network is the best-selling author of Reality Shifts, When Consciousness Changes the Physical World, Cynthia Sue Larson. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Bradley. Glad to be here.
It's good to have you here. So tell us about what are reality shifts, number one?
Well, I know most of us have noticed things moving around, like you put your keys down in one place and they're not there when you go back. Or you put socks in the laundry and they don't come out as a matched set. And a lot of people joke that maybe something's gone to a parallel realm or another world. And actually, I'm here to say that literally is what's happening. And that's what my book is about, that something extraordinary is happening. And the closer we look at it, the more amazing it gets. So I'm calling this phenomenon reality shifts. And it covers everything from coincidence and synchronicity to just things appearing, disappearing, transforming, and transporting, and sometimes changes in the experience of time. Like you're driving down the road and you get to where you're going a whole lot faster than could be physically possible.
Now, all of this, I'm sure, has happened to a lot of us, if not most all of us, but is there something in the mind, in the conscious mind, that really doesn't let us adapt to these thoughts or these situations or these experiences?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I've done a lot of surveys over the last more than 10 years of publishing stories about this from people around the world who have been mystified, and so grateful to find there's a website talking about this phenomenon. But yeah, most people, they have an experience like this, and then the first thing that happens is you question your own sanity. That's pretty normal, just to think, wait a minute, could that even have happened? I must be seeing things. Maybe I'm just imagining. You rub your eyes and blink and think about it, but then it's like goes to the X-Files. Like, where do you store an experience like this? Who do you tell about it? People might think you're crazy. So a lot of times when something like this happens, and it's just happened once or twice, you just tend to dismiss it and figure, well, maybe the socks are just vanishing inside the internal area of the washing machine, for example, or maybe I thought I put my keys there, but obviously I didn't. So it raises doubt in people's minds about the reality of our physical world. But the truth is, the more you think about what's really going on, especially what physicists know to be true on the quantum level, strange things such as spooky action at a distance and
tell us about what physicists think or state are going on in the other levels.
Right. What's going on the very small scale of quantum particles is that we are made of not so much physical material. Like, we think if you pinch yourself that you're real and you're physical and you're sitting in a chair or you're standing on a solid floor. We think of things as being totally solid and firm, and that they are stationary, and they're really there. The truth is that when you use a magnifying glass and then you go into a microscope and then you go to a quantum scale microscope and you're looking at the very nature of matter, you'll see that as you go down to the atomic scale, what we call matter is mostly empty space. And so if you're looking at an atom that consists of a nucleus and some electrons, most of that atom is it's more than 90% just empty space. And when you go inside those atomic particles to the quantum level, then it's even more and more empty space. So the big mystery for physicists is, why is it that quantum particles don't act like we would expect little marbles or things of matter to act like? Why do they act like sometimes they blink in and out of existence and like they're connected to one another? And when you're observing them, then they act differently than when you're not looking. What's going on? And these are the kind of questions that have come up as we've looked at the realm of the quantum particles over the last 100 years. The last century is completely, radically transformed our worldview.
Don't they say that the DNA, our own DNA, comes and goes?
It does, yeah. On the DNA level, exactly. So the way our nervous system works is much more like a quantum processor. And we're moving into the realm of quantum computing as well. So this is a time, I'm using this word quantum very loosely, so people may not know exactly what that means.
Well, why don't you define that for us?
Right. Quanta is like a very small identifiable particle. And so when physicists were first looking to see what's the nature of reality, what's the smallest possible building block, we got about as small as we could go with these quantum particles. That would be a simple one that everyone is aware of is the photon. That would be a very small particle of light that's coming to us from the sun, for example. So quantum particles like that are within our realm of experience, but we don't usually see them. It's something that we're aware of. We see it every day, but we don't really experience it. But there are some experiments that have been done, and this is where it gets into the interesting spooky action at a distance, quantum teleportation, quantum tunneling.
Well, we're only limited by our own beliefs, aren't we?
Right. But the thing that's so interesting to me about the realm of physics and how it corresponds to consciousness is that the two appear to be inextricably intertangled and interwoven and connected. So our assumptions that we don't affect an experiment seem to be completely wrong based on quantum experiments.
I've heard some pretty bright people say that science is the true religion.
Yeah. And because I think when you really take science seriously and you recognize that it's not about standing over something that we think is true because it's always been true. That's not real science. Real science is based on hypotheses that we come up with based on what we currently think we know, that we're constantly revising. So
that's so true. It's so true. It's based on our perceptions and our thoughts and our knowledge, correct?
Right. And then the idea is that we design experiments that we can test the hypotheses with. But the trouble with some of these experiments that are currently being designed for the quantum realm is that they're getting increasingly difficult to test out. That's why we need things like the Large Hadron Collider, so we can.
The Large Hadron Collider?
Yeah, that's that very large super. It's the collider that's. I guess people think of it as the quest for the God particle that's been in the news lately.
The quest for the God particle. Well,
yeah.
If God were a particle, he'd be in all of us, wouldn't he?
Exactly.
I think that's the whole deal. We are gods, aren't we?
Well, that's how I see it. I see that obviously we're all as one, that we are all part of, if you consider a divine plan, that there's free choice, but also some sort of unifying consistency.
I'm going to ask you a favor. Keep that thought. We'll get to that when we come back. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, stay put, everybody. If you got a habit you want to change, what would you do differently to better your life experience if you could? Well, hang in there. We just might have some insight for you. I'm here with Cynthia Sue Larson, best-selling author of Reality Shifts, When Consciousness Changes the Physical World. She says when we look for reality shifts while keeping an open mind, we experience more and more shifts of reality rather than fewer and fewer. This is the Quick Fix on Cool Change Radio, broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios. I'm Bradley Quick, and we'll be right back.
Today, experience the Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
This has never been attempted before by any treatment center, ever. Seasons Malibu is willing to take the risk because they understand quality care and evidence-based long-term recovery. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better, period. I'll say that one more time. Pay for only 3 months of treatment and stay until you are better. Enough is enough. Seasons Malibu wants to count your days of recovery, not the dollars in your pocket. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just straightforward world-class treatment until you are better. Do not hesitate. Call now. Seasons Malibu, 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. That's Seasons Malibu at www.seasonsmalibu.com or 866-780-8539, 866-780-8539. For a free consultation and details, 866-780-8539. All righty, welcome back. You're listening to The Quick Fix here on Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive change. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to help you gain the upper hand in becoming all that you want to be. I'd like to let you know I'm speaking at Seasons Malibu. They're a top-notch treatment center in Malibu, California. I'll be speaking there July 31st at 12:30. This is a networking event for addiction and mental health professionals as well as other practitioners. It all starts at 12:30 with a delicious meal prepared by Seasons top-notch chefs. And I'll be speaking about self-mastery, the next level of counseling, and the 7 stages of development. So join me this July 31st at Seasons Malibu. Be there at 12:30 for this amazing, informative, fun event. To get more information to RSVP, go to seasonsmalibu.com. That's www.seasonsmalibu.com for location, phone number, and to RSVP. Do that now. Don't pass this opportunity up. It's going to be fun. For those of you just joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and BradleyQuick.com, welcome. You can listen to this show again or to hundreds of hours of other self-discovery content anytime you want by simply going to BradleyQuick.com. You can also sign up for our weekly radio show email reminder, where once a week you'll receive the most recent interviews in the comfort of your own home or office. And you can listen at your convenience and make sure not to miss your favorite authors, experts, or personalities. You can also podcast any of our shows or just listen to us anytime from anywhere at www.BradleyQuick.com. All right, our guest today is Cynthia Sue Larson, best-selling author of Reality Shifts, When Consciousness Changes the Physical World, which she has been enthusiastically endorsed, the book has, by Edgar Mitchell, Dr. Larry Dossey, and Fred Allen Wolf, Dr. Fred Allen Wolf. Hey, well, Cynthia, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
We were talking about particles and how our body's composed of the same thing that the furthest star the eye can see is composed of. Is that correct?
Exactly. And, you know, what I want to really impress upon people who are thinking about this, maybe for the first time, is I love a quote by Albert Einstein, and he once said that there are two ways to live your life. One as though nothing is a miracle, and the other as though everything is a miracle. And that is the mindset that I like to use and utilize when I'm witnessing what I would call quantum effects on the macro scale, because that's really what, to me, reality shifts are all about. It's the nature of things that are appearing, disappearing, transforming, and transporting. And the more closely we look at this, and the more we imagine that our belief system might be the only thing limiting our ability to experience truly miraculous encounters with the world, with our family, with our friends, with our work, with everything.
Well,
it can really change your life.
If people think about it, the human body is the way that it functions is a miracle in itself. I mean, it's so complex, and we don't even think about that. But then if you look at the axis of the planet and the sun and just everything that we're surrounded by, it's an absolute miracle, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, that is the enlightened approach, is to just be in a state of reverence and rapture pretty much all the time. That would be the awakened state that most of the spiritual masters talk about. However, many of us get into more of a kind of autopilot mode where we get to work and we're not even sure if we drove or whether we took a shower or maybe even if we ate breakfast.
Well, that's when the conscious mind gets overloaded and we get stuck in the subconscious mind, which is automatic conditioned responses and automatic pilot. You know, I've done that several times. The example I like to use is, have you ever gone to drive down the freeway going to an exit you've been to 100 times, if not more, and missed it?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get in an accident. You didn't hit anybody. You didn't injure yourself because the subconscious mind was taking over and running it for you. Right.
It's a little scary when you think back on it. Like, well, wait a minute. How come I don't remember driving that distance?
That's all that hypnosis is, really. It overloads the conscious mind and brings out the subconscious.
But when I talk about reality shifts on the road, because I mentioned that example earlier, some people have written in over the last 10, 12, 13 years about how they've been driving on a regular trip that usually would take something like a known quantity of time, usually like 4 to 5 to 6 hours, but they show up in much less time than it should have taken, and they know they weren't speeding. They were in that kind of autopilot mode, but which is almost like a trance state, you know, if you will. Maybe just singing songs on the radio or just thinking happy thoughts. And then suddenly they're where they should be, but there's no way they could have gotten there that quickly.
That's amazing. Give us some examples of reality shifts that you've experienced, but better than that, because we're talking to you and you have a wonderful book, and how about that your other people have experienced, maybe people that you've interviewed or come in contact with?
Yeah, well, there's so many great examples of this, beside the one I just mentioned. Some people have written to me. I think some of my personal favorites are finding family heirlooms that have been gone for years, in some case decades, that just show up out of the blue. One man had been missing a family wedding ring, and it had been gone so long that who knows when it had vanished, but it was like a grandmother's ring, and it showed up one day on top of the drying machine, just where you do your laundry, but there'd be no explanation for why that would appear there. And that's, to me, that's a special kind of story because it's an item of great significance to the family that just shows up out of nowhere for no apparent reason. So this isn't just like putting your keys down and leaving them and then coming back and finding them somewhere strange or finding them gone, but then you check again and now the keys are right where you know they weren't a few minutes ago.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you come to write the wonderful book.
Okay. Well, my background is I do have a degree in physics from UC Berkeley.
I probably could have guessed that.
So I love the idea of bringing together the physical explanations for what's going on. After I got my physics degree, I got a degree in business administration, and I worked at Citibank for a number of years as a project manager there. So I'm a very grounded person, and I don't do drugs. I don't even drink very often.
Well, wait a second. How could you go to Berkeley and not do drugs, huh?
That's a good question.
Yeah, you were an outcast, weren't you?
I was a nerd. I mean, I'm studying physics. One of the few girls in the program. This is back in the 80s. There weren't that many women, maybe just a handful of us, and we were all not very socially outgoing. So it was an interesting experience for sure. But I came to be interested in this topic because I started experiencing reality shifts. And back before the Internet was the Internet, back when it was more the ARPANET, I was looking. Well, it's what the online the universities would talk to each other, and it was a much different version of the Internet. It's hard to explain. It's like when you talk about tube television sets, and you try to tell kids nowadays.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, like, I remember when.
Or the
album.
Or
like these little light bulb things inside the TV sets.
Or the album, the 33
right.
album, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so back before the Internet was the Internet, when it was something kind of like it is, but not really, I was doing searches to find out if anyone had reported these reality shifts. And back then, there was very little written about it, aside from one mention of the topic by PMH Atwater, who's an author about near-death experiences. She had a chapter in a book called Reality Shifts and wrote about it. And then there was an author who wrote a book about parallel worlds and the holographic universe. That was the name of his book. And so this was a physicist as well. And when he wrote that book, he talked a little bit about reality shifts in the book from the standpoint that sometimes things just change for no apparent reason.
No, I know mediums, and I have one very favorite one who does a show out of this studio named Dorothy Lee Donahue. She's got a show called Love and Miracles every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard on Cool Change Radio, and she says that when she walks into the studio, everything starts changing. I mean, everything nothing. She doesn't need to change everything. It just changes by itself. And she says she's gets invaded by, she calls them the gremlins, or the friendly little people from far, far away, angels, spirit guides, things of that nature. How much do you say that they're doing this, or what is your theory behind the whole deal?
Well, I keep an open mind. I think I know people have different explanations for this. When I was reading Michael Talbot, the physicist's book Holographic Universe, he mentions that during his early years, about the time that he was a teenager, that sometimes he'd wake up and all the socks in his bedroom would be just draped all over the furniture, all over the house. And sometimes sticks and stones would sort of hit the house, and there were psychokinetic effects, like a poltergeist. And he wasn't sure what was going on, but it was concurrent with him being a certain age. And I think a lot of paranormal researchers have noticed that young people of a certain age, usually between 10 and 13, right about when they're going through puberty, there's a lot of psychokinetic activity. So
Isn't that true also while they're 5 and under, before they get really corrupt generally by society and
Right.
And hearing the word no, and you're generally followed by you can't or you won't or you
Right,
shouldn't.
yes. There's a lot of, exactly, children are much more open to this phenomenon. And when I talk to young people and children about reality shifts, they'll tell me the most amazing stories. Like I saw my toy horse wag its tail, and this is not a battery-operated toy. My daughter told me about that, and I believed her, but she has a much more open mind to seeing such things as most grown-ups or adults would. When we believe something is impossible, it looks like perhaps we're blocking ourselves.
Okay, listen, when we come back, Cynthia, I want you to tell us how we can manifest this, or can we manifest, or how can we become more open to receiving or being able to see these deals. Fair enough?
Sounds good. Yes, wonderful.
All right, that sounds great. Listen, I'll be speaking at Seasons Malibu, the top-notch treatment center in Malibu, California on July 31st. It's a networking event for professionals like you, healthcare professionals, and all kinds of wonderful people. It starts at 12:30 with a delicious meal prepared by their top-notch chefs. And I'll be speaking about self-mastery, the next level of counseling, and the 7 stages of development. Join me July 31st at Seasons Malibu. Go to seasonsmalibu.com, seasonsmalibu.com, and RSVP. I'm Bradley Quick, and be right back.
There are self-help seminars costing thousands of dollars guaranteeing miraculous transformations. There are compelling speakers and life-changing weekend experiences where you can walk on fire. They all deliver revelations that guarantee you'll come back for the more expensive revelations filled with even greater wonder next month on Fiji. We get addicted to positive, heartfelt, expensive theater. What we really need is a jumpstart, an awakening, someone who can give us a reminder that everything we need lies within. Through inspiration and practical knowledge, Dorothy Donahue helps people get grounded and motivated, inspired and energized. It's not just words and affirmations and the power of intention. It's a mindset brought about by a tangible, transcendental experience, an audio-visual, physical, spiritual experience that helps us realize we transform ourselves. We get tools to become the conscious co-creators of lives of unlimited potential. Find out more. Go to DorothyDonahue.com. You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
I'm Melody Beattie, author of Codependent No More. 7 times more Americans have hepatitis C than AIDS. I'm one of them. If you're one of the millions of Americans with hepatitis C and your doctors are treating you with interferon, then you're clearly aware of how your life has been turned horribly upside down. Backed by huge pharmaceutical monies, the medical community swears there's only one dangerous, disabling way to battle this silent killer. It's not true. There are alternatives, and they work. Triumph Over Hepatitis C is a book written by best-selling author Lloyd Wright, who fully recovered from this frightening disease. Lloyd is helping others to take charge of their lives and fight for their body's freedom from this crippling illness. His program is working for me. Call the people at Hepatitis C Free now at 866-HEP-C-FREE. That's 866-HEP-C-FREE. Don't become another medical statistic. Find out the truth about hepatitis C and get your life back.
Get your copy of Triumph Over Hepatitis C at Barnes & Noble and at hepatitiscfree.com. Call 866-HEP-C-FREE.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement and a place to find your passion and purpose. I'm Bradley Quick, and we're right here right now to provide you with alternative solutions to the issues in your life. I'm going to be down in Teotihuacan, Mexico. That's right, home of the Toltec Pyramids. I'm going to be down there October 11th through the 15th, and you can join me. I stay at my buddy Lee McCormick's got a place down there called the Dreaming House. It's a 5,500 square meter facility. It's amazing, amazing. Right at the base of the pyramids. You take a 5-day journey every day, and you walk to the pyramids. They're about a quarter mile away, and you go through the energy of the pyramids. This is not a tour of the pyramids by any means. It's going through the 5 portals of your life and your existence and who you are. It's stepping out of the social matrix into the spiritual matrix. It's amazing, amazing. Go to spiritrecovery.com. That's www.spiritrecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link and come and join me on the pyramids. I'd love to see you down there in October. I go every few months, but Lee goes down there 4 or 5 times a year conducting these journeys. And let me tell you, the Dreaming House is the first place of its kind built to perpetuate the Toltec wisdom in the last 1,500 years. It's a magical place. It's a magical experience. It's changed my life as it will change yours. Just gotta trust me on this one. SpiritRecovery.com. Click on the Journeys link, and I'll see you there. All right. She provides inspirational guidance to help people set and achieve extraordinary goals in optimal alignment with their core strengths. Cynthia practices and teaches mindfulness, meditation, and martial arts, and writes books and articles on topics of conscious living. Joining us once again, Cynthia Sue Larson, best-selling author of Reality Shifts When Consciousness Changes the Physical World. Cynthia, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, this is so fantastic. I want to know how we can manifest this stuff. Can we perpetuate it somehow in our lives, acknowledging these shifts?
Yes, we can. That's a great question. And the first step is to start paying attention. And so rather than disregard when something extraordinary is happening, as so many people do, because we get in that mindless
and we also have a hard time staying in the now.
That's right. Yeah, we tend to be worried about the future or obsessed with something that we think went wrong in the past. And we really need to get mindful. So that mindfulness is very much a part of paying attention. It's getting into that meditative place. So I love when you're talking about going to Mexico and just getting out of the usual craziness.
Oh, the social matrix and the domestic matrix is just incredible. And you don't really know about it, that you're in it until you step out of it.
Exactly.
And you can only step out of it with the willingness to let go.
Right.
It's
well, that's the first
process.
step, really, is just to. And people often think they're doing meditation wrong or that nothing's happening. And I'm sure you hear this from people, but obviously, stick with it. Find the meditation that works for you, and just have faith that it is working. It's like anything else. It sometimes takes a while till you see results, but just to be able to clear the mind or just spend a few minutes quieting that monkey mind chatter makes a huge difference in the ability to pay attention to the very present moment right now, like you said. And then the next thing that I would strongly recommend is for people to become more appreciative and grateful for what's happening, because that's an attitude that tends to bring people into better alignment with the more enjoyable types of reality.
Now, when you say what's happening, they should become more grateful for who they are, for what is, right?
Well, just the fact that you're breathing right now.
Exactly.
Even if I know people are like, well, of course I'm breathing. Well, let's start there.
If you weren't, though, as my father has a tough time breathing and for other reasons, but he's so grateful to take a single breath. And like you said, people forget that, don't they?
They do. And they forget how grateful we should be for just being in any degree of health that we have right now, with whatever friends or family that we might have. Just to be able to make a change, to be self-aware and know that by choosing what you do today, that you're actually changing your life.
Right.
These are things to be deeply grateful for.
Now, I've got a question for you. We use the Reality Shifts is the name of the book, right? And we've used that, and we've used miracles. Now, most people perceive the definition of miracle to be something that is way out of the ordinary, that's like magic almost, right?
Right.
And the Reality Shifts and miracles, what's the difference between them? And is a miracle really a miracle, or is this just another reality that we can peek into?
Well, I like to use the word reality shifts and talk about these experiences in a way that's free from any kind of spiritual path or particular religious background, because reality shifts are available for everyone. I think some people actually would call some of these reality shifts that I've seen miracles, truly, because they fall in the realm of this is extraordinary, something that's completely unexpected, that seems almost like what sometimes people talk about laws of physics. I don't like that phrase, but because to me it's theories. We're working with hypotheses. We're testing them out. Our own experience of science is changing, and so forth. But when people talk about, like, wow, this is a miracle, because, for example, my grandmother had liver cancer. It was inoperable. She was in her 90s, but now it's gone, and her doctors don't know what happened. And she says,
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this really happened to my grandmother.
Right.
And the doctors they told her, well, you had 3 to 6 months to live, but now apparently you're fine. You don't have cancer. They had no idea what had happened.
Yeah,
and my father's an engineer.
Like that.
Oh my gosh, yes. My father just whispered to me, like, I have the CAT scan. He was speechless.
Wow.
Like how can you go from riddled with cancer to cancer-free? What is going on? That is a miracle. I think pretty much anyone would agree that's a miracle. I would also call that a reality shift. And then we've got the mundane types of reality shifts where you just get the parking space you want when you need it.
Right.
You're thinking of someone and they phone. A bruise seems to go away magically.
Well,
But to me, these are all miracles too.
I know that when you ask for help from the universe, from the spirits that be, from the spirit guides, the spirit people, the angels, Pachamama, ancestors, brothers and sisters, whoever you want to ask, you ask them to help you through something, all kinds of funky stuff can happen, especially if you're open to it, right?
Right, exactly. And I think people that sometimes feel like, oh, that's not possible, and I can relate to that. Another thing people can do besides paying attention, being grateful, another huge thing that helps you revise your assumptions and beliefs is to just take a look at what's going on right now with scientific studies. Take a look at what we are currently learning. Stay on top of modern scientific exploration, and your mind will be blown by what's going on.
Aren't lax, limitations, and insight in this case all self-induced?
I think so. But often it's a societal effect as well. So we're raised by families in a society that tend to tell us what reality can and can't be. And, laughter and ridicule are used to say, well, people can't read your mind, and, things can't move simultaneously when they're separated by a great distance. But
that's the social matrix again, isn't it?
Yeah, we use the social matrix. But then you find out, well, actually, look at this scientific study. Diamonds that you can hold in your hand and they're visible to the human eye, they are now entangled at room temperature, 6 to 8 feet apart from each other. That means we're getting spooky action at a distance with things you can actually see to the naked eye.
What's the strangest reality shift that you've witnessed?
For me personally, I think things appearing out of thin air would have to be my number one weirdest reality shift. And I've seen several things manifest as I'm looking at them. It just literally appear out of nowhere several times. So it's more than just a one-off experience. One time, a friend had locked his keys apparently in the trunk of the car, and we were both, it was a holiday. It's the kind of situation where you don't want to call the locksmith because it's going to be hundreds of dollars. You're camping, you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's a holiday, like, oh, good grief. So we just, he was just in a very meditative, prayerful state with his hands just sort of clasped in prayer, his eyes closed, and I was watching him when a set of keys appeared out of nowhere just about 3 inches below his hands and then fell to the ground right in front of him. The keys that had been locked in the trunk of his car.
Wow.
That was one experience. I've also just, I've got so many of them.
Okay, before we got about a minute left. Tell me again, if we didn't talk about it already, if we didn't say it again, if we did, how can people manifest this in their own lives? Give them a play-by-play, if you will, please.
Okay, well, like I said, step 1, pay attention. Step 2, be grateful. Step 3, get up to speed with scientific studies because it's going to break through your creaky belief system and that social grid matrix. Step 4, revise your assumptions. Get open-minded. Step 5 is energize yourself. That means get really positive. This is back to that meditation, breathe in love. Just be in a really up state. Step 6, reverse out any negative self-talk. Step 7, start getting interconnected with the world. Meditation helps with this. Just realize you're not alone. You're part of everything. Step 8, visualize what you desire. Like you said, just call to the spirits, and you'll start seeing some funky stuff, some good stuff. Step 9, just release, let go, let spirit, let the universe bring it to you. And step 10, realize you're making a choice all the time of your attitude. You are choosing your life. Those choices you make are everything, and your attitude is where it all starts.
Can I invite you back here sometime really soon?
I'd love to be on the show again.
I would love that. This has just been absolutely great. Her name is Cynthia Larson. The book's called Reality Shifts, and it's for you, everybody. And Cynthia, we'll definitely have you back in a month or so, okay?
Thank you.
All right, sweetie. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Stay put, everybody. You're in the right place. Cool Change Radio would like to welcome all our new talk shows, including Dates and Mates with Dear Mrs. D, Damona Hoffman. I love and serve, feed people, remember God with Michael Brian Baker, and do look for our other upcoming shows here on Cool Change Radio. We're coming back with our Getting Fit in Mr. Universe segment. All right, I love it. You're in the right place. Cool Change Radio, your home for self-improvement here on your Solutions Radio Network. We'll be right back. Get quality goods for less from Bag City, serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Up to 70% below retail on everything. Coin purses, wallets, organizers, purses, briefcases, backpacks, travel and garment bags, and ladies' and men's leather jackets. All discounted, all up to 70% below retail. Bag City, the best for less? Bag City serving all of Reno, Denver, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, Salt Lake City, Los Angeles, and many more cities. Contact Bag City at 818-990-1795. That's Bag City, quality goods for less money. Bag City, where 15% of all sales go to local charities. You can't beat that. You help local charities while getting quality goods at up to 70% below retail. Contact Bag City now at 818-990-1795. Contact Bag City today and get quality goods for less money. That's 818-990-1795. Shop Bag City to save. Shop Bag City for charity. Bag City, 818-990-1795.
You're listening to The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick. Purpose, power, motivation. We'll be right back.
Today, experience The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change. Written by Bradley Quick, author, producer, motivational speaker, and host of the award-winning radio talk show, The Quick Fix with Bradley Quick on CoolChangeRadio.com. Bradley's passion for life is evident in his book, written so you can experience health, find your purpose, and have more effective relationships. Beating insurmountable odds, overcoming death, and being paralyzed, Bradley fought his way back so he could help you conquer your struggles. Experience increased health, vitality, passion, and purpose in your life right now with The Quick Fix, and read about Bradley's courage, ambition, and determination to live. Whether the issue is your thoughts, your physical body, or you just want to feel better and be happy, The Quick Fix, a simple process for positive change, will change your life. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Take positive action now and receive a free guided meditation CD with your order. That's a $20 value free with your order today. Go to BradleyQuick.com. That's BradleyQuick.com. Take control and begin feeling better now. Get the book and free CD now at BradleyQuick.com.
All righty, welcome back. Thank you all for joining us on Cool Change Radio, Facebook, and BradleyQuick.com. As you know, you can catch our live and video recorded shows on Cool Change Radio and over 700 hours of my best audio interviews, your favorite topics and personalities at BradleyQuick.com. This is Cool Change Radio. As you well know, we're broadcasting live from Freddie Siegel Studios, your home for self-improvement and a place for positive life enhancement. I want you to know we're being supported in large part by one of my favorite charities, the Cool Change Foundation. The foundation was created to help families and all the children in those families. They do that by providing positive transformational life enhancement methods and techniques to those children's caretakers, usually moms and dads, so they may overcome negative habits and become better role models and providers for the kids. As a direct result, the children's home and family life becomes more nurturing and loving. It does every single time. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. And you can help the foundation, help the mom, dads, and kids in your community. You can do that right now. Simply sending a donation of love and support directly to the foundation at www. Write this down, thecoolchangefoundation.org. That's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Once there, simply click on the Support Us link at the top of the page. You'll be helping us help the children. Again, that's thecoolchangefoundation.org. Click on the Support Us link and help us today. Every penny counts. No donation's ever too small. And the children need your help. From all of us here at Cool Change Radio, we thank you for your support. All right. For those of you still watching, we're still here with us. Here comes our Getting Fit with Miss Universe segment with Mr. Paul Madrano. Here we go.